What's going on? Welcome to Risky Ryan Trades. Happy Friday. Happy weekly candle close. I got my whiskey. I'm trying to make this video nice and quick for you guys so that I can it's really for me. I want to go to the Fish Fry Fridays. It's a thing in Wisconsin. I don't know if it's in your state. Do you have fish fries? Put it in the comments below. While you're at it, hit the video with the like button. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, which you don't even know what kind of video it is yet. You haven't even seen it, but hit the subscribe button anyways. All right, let's get to the charts. Now, I've been seeing something going on with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. It would appear that the NASDAQ's doing a little bit better, and that's normal. But there's certain things that I don't know, that are, last week, you'll remember, let's just get into this. Last week, you'll remember that we had a big bearish engulfing candle right at the top of the weekly candlestick chart. And typically, like, look over here, back here in July. Here, let's see if I can, little thing right here, boom, right here. We had a bearish engulfing, and what happened? Boom, 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 boom. Right? Usually that's not a good thing. Usually it's not a good thing. We had one back here. It's boom over here, bearish engulfing, boom, 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 boom. So the textbook tells you, oh my gosh, okay. The textbook tells you that you should sell. You should get out of the way. And that's what I did. Not 100%. I'm mostly long. Bears are usually wrong. You'll see that in my bio on my X account. You can follow me there. So I went to 10% cash, and I slowly started to DCA into like silver, utilities sector, AbbVie, certain defensive stocks that looked good. And Zeta, not a defensive stock, but I just decided, you know what, I believe in this company. And anyways, so what happened this week? We got bought right back up to the open, right back up to 2 weeks ago close. We're right back to where we were 2 weeks ago, all-time highs. But this candlestick pattern is still not the best because it implies that there is a ceiling right here at 638. Now, the Qs looked even worse last week to me. If you went on a linear scale, you could see that we tagged a Fibonacci level and then bearish engulfed. This, I call this the hangman. It is usually, like, when you see that, like, look at down here. And the opposite is true. Usually, like, it'll look like this if it finds support, but when it tags resistance and then pukes, usually means get out of the way. But look, the Qs closed above. Did it close like above even the wick? Pretty much. Not quite, but that doesn't matter. Wicks aren't as important as the bodies. So what does this mean? Qs are doing better. Qs look a lot stronger. Well, what's in the Qs that aren't in the S&P 500? Technology isn't more so in the Qs. And there's really not a whole lot of financials. Let's take a look at XLF. Aha! We did not nearly get the amount of bid in XLF. So if you ask me, financials, and look at that. Look at this little weekly turnover. If I go to the Qs, do we have a similar thing? Not really. Not really. On the SPY, do we have a similar thing? Kind of, but not really. What about tech? Not really. Tech's getting bought up. Semiconductors getting bought up. So what's going on with XLF? All right, well, let's take a look at JP Morgan. Even worse. Even worse. What about Citigroup? Not great. I don't like it. What about Social Finances Technologies? Oh, that looks good. What else is in this SPY that's not really... Well, let's take a look at XLV. Ugh! Right? Ugh. Not good. Not good. Okay, so what did we learn? What did we learn? We learned that large cap growth, particularly tech, is all the rage. Now but I'm pretty sure IGV, is that it? IGV? Software. I thought that software was getting pounded. It is kind of getting pounded. So that would mean that it's semiconductors that are leading the way. Let's take a look at my GAN. Where do I think this is going? Well, probably right here, another 6%, if I had to guess. But once we get into this level, and who knows, it might even pop its head out, tap the logarithmic Fibonacci, but I think we're going to get some strength, but then we're going to be just in some consolidation. And ultimately, one other thing I like to do, you've probably seen this on my other videos, but I use these GANs to determine specifically the GAN angles, because if I pull this out, watch this, if I pull this out, you'll see that this GAN angle is pretty much what semiconductors have been climbing since 2012. Sometimes it's below it, sometimes it's above it, but it's coiling around it. Give it a couple years, it's coming back, is all I'm saying. And so that's how I like to determine, what kind of compound annual growth rate am I really going to get out of this investment? If I put money in the SMH right now and I go out, let's say I go out 2 years, 104 weeks, I'm only going to get 20%. Now, it might be much higher than that at 104 bars, but me personally, the way I like to invest, when I draw these things out, and I have other methods, but like my overall is I like to see what this number is, and I like to get a really good CAGR out of it. And when did you get a chance at a really good CAGR? Right here, because right here you go 52 weeks out, and you're at 23%. You go 104 weeks out, you're at 50% compound annual growth rate. That is set and forget it. You invest like tons of money right there, and it's the semiconductor index. NVIDIA could go under and it would still probably do this. That's sleep easy, high growth, right? And that's what I like to do. I'm it's funny. I call myself Risky Ryan Trades, but I'm really something in between like a swing trader and a long-term investor. I have many different stocks that I have deemed investable, and I will trade in and out of them based on technicals. Based on fundamentals and macro as well. But in general, I'm willing to say, well, Shopify could be a 10% position or a 5% position within my portfolio, depending on its valuation. That's my approach. And valuation, to me, when there's an alignment between the fundamentals and my charts, boom, sweet spot. I can trust that. I can work with that. And I do lean towards the charts a little bit more because, you saw it. Look, 20 years. We wind in and around this GAN angle. Yeah, you're going to have moments where it's like, uh-oh, what's going on? But once you get back up here, it's like, okay, well, it's going to come back up here. So you can start, that's strength. You can start investing into it again. So it's not like it's ever going to climb this angle perfectly, but it will come back and rendezvous with it periodically. Let's take a look at the small caps because I think that's important as well. Small caps, they're trying. Honestly, I would like to see them come down into September. That's what that would be my preference, because that would be a fat pitch, because we're going to get the rate cuts in September. I think the last I saw was like a 90% chance. Who here watching this thinks that we're not going to get a rate cut? I want to know. Comment below if you think we're not going to get a rate cut. So, okay, what do I do? So let's say that the SMH is like this. It's the strongest sector, and like the Qs are strong, but they're kind of overbought in a way. Although when I look at the daily, it actually looks pretty nice. Like this looks pretty good. It looks like to me like this thing wants to come up to 620, something like that. That's the Qs, wants to come to 620. So what do? Well, you find stocks that are near their GAN angles. Stocks you like, stocks that are going down for no reason, really. And those stocks to me are Software stocks. Why are they getting hit? Nobody can tell me. Nobody can tell me why CrowdStrike is falling like this. The only thing that would tell me why this is falling is it bumped its head into an extremely old Fibonacci level, like at the 2.272 level, like the same 2.272 level, logarithmic level that NVIDIA ran all the way up to, and then it wound around for the last like 2 years, basically, until it broke out again. So it's a pretty powerful level. Do I think CrowdStrike's going to wind around for that long? No, because reasons. I'm not going to get into why I don't think that. But ultimately, this thing is coming down. I'm giving you a little bonus here because I am going to make probably a video separate for this. But, if I go to the weekly candles, and you can see the volume shelves over here, like we tagged this 425, which is also a 1.618 Fibonacci level that I have drawn. So that's why I started buying this already, because the stochastics are already bottomed, pretty much bottomed. We hit major confluence here. And then the big reason is if I take this out 52 weeks, my goodness, that's a 40% CAGR. I'll take that all day. Not financial advice, but that's what I'm looking to put my money into the upcoming week. But there's a few other stocks that I have my eyes on as well. And the only way to find out what those are is to hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to make some more videos for you. So go ahead and do that. Hit me with a like, comment something below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Risky Ryan, out.